Graduates, each of you has worked, sacrificed, and persevered to come to this point. Whatever unique challenges you faced along the way, here you are today, ready to receive your degrees with all the hard work, knowledge, experience, and character that they represent, the foundations on which you will build your future. It is our hope for you as you prepare to begin this next phase in your lives, that you will carry the ideas of your alma mater's mission out into the world, continuing to challenge minds, to inspire souls, and to search always for truth. We hope that you will carry the values that have guided your experience here, to be ethical and caring, and to value civility, diversity, service, and excellence. That you will carry these values with you and strive each day to live guided by them in your personal and professional lives. If you will hold fast to them, you will indeed be successful, responsible citizens who aspire to lives of integrity and moral courage.
Let us pray. God of all people, Scripture tells us that you are the Father of lights, that all good gifts flow down from you. And we are grateful for those many gifts. All is gift. Especially we are grateful for the gift of LaGrange College and what it means for all of us who are gathered here today. Jesus told his disciples, I no longer call you servants, I call you friends. Today we call these students graduates. We mark their transition into a new life of leadership and growth. We call them family, united by an alma mater, a nourishing, kind mother that you have given us at LaGrange College. Most of all, today we affirm your great faithfulness. From campus visit to orientation to first week to freshman year, to a major and a calling and now a degree, you have been faithful. You will be faithful in that which is to come. We celebrate this truth in the name of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Savior,
Presenting the senior gift today is Mr. Osti White. Osti will graduate today with a major in nonprofit leadership. He has served in this community as a servant scholar and served on campus as vice president of the Student Government Association, co-founder of the Black Student Association, and a leader in Wesley Fellowship. Following graduation, he will serve as a Global Missions Fellow for the United Methodist Church. Please join me in welcoming Osti White to the podium.
Good, better, best. Don't let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. As the class of 2017, we wanted to give our best back to LaGrange College. We know that it would not be possible to be here today without the overwhelming generosity of past graduates, faculty and staff, and other friends of the college. I would like to thank each of my fellow peers through daily emails, constant phone calls, frequent text messages, and final reminders. We have made history. Looking back over the last decade, the class with the highest giving percentage rate was in 2014 with 55.8% giving until now. The class of 2017 has surpassed any preceding class by having 65% giving back to LaGrange College. I'm excited to share that we have given over $1,300. I would like to give an extra thank you to the following organizations, departments, and athletic teams who have given back 100%. Nursing, chemistry, religion, history, nonprofit leadership, Alpha Delta Gamma fraternity, cross country, softball, and the servant scholars. On behalf of the class of 2017, we would like to thank our president, Dr. McAlexander, staff, faculty, students, and alumni. And at this time, I would like to present the check to President McAlexander. Thank you.
The Waits G. Henry Jr. Leadership Award. This award, named in honor of the 20th president of LaGrange College, is the highest award given to a student. The award is based on significant achievement in 3 areas: scholarship, service, and leadership. I'm extremely pleased to invite forward as the recipient of the Waits G. Henry Jr. Leadership Award for 2017, Timothy Henry Barnes.
Good morning. As recipient of the 2017 Waits G. Henry Jr. Leadership Award, I am both honored and humbled to stand before you today and give remarks on behalf of the 2017 graduating class. I would be remiss if my first words were not of those of sincere appreciation to all of you here today. Without the leadership of our Board of Trustees and President, without the challenge and support provided by our faculty and staff, and without the love and laughter provided by moms, dads, brothers, sisters, and friends, without all of this, none of us would be here today in these black robes, prepared to graduate as better students and better people than when we arrived here 4 years ago today. Thank you. Secondly, there are 13 other equally deserving candidates for the Waits G. Henry Jr. Leadership Award, and I am honored to be even included in the list of nominees and humbled to be selected among a group of students who have all exemplified the transforming nature of LaGrange College. The journey I took at LaGrange was no doubt full of events that challenged me, tested my will, and at times left me fearful. My journey began here with a very brief but very important conversation with a faculty member, Dr. Terry Austin. I was instantly sold to the idea of becoming a LaGrange College Panther. I love science, and Dr. Austin had planted a solid seed about the 3-2 engineering program. So I arrived I arrived on campus with some knowledge about where I would direct my studies, but I also got here with a lot of energy. And some in the audience who knew me during my freshman year might say I arrived with a little too much energy. But I got here looking for some activity where I could direct my focus and gain some personal fulfillment. I think we all arrive at college looking for just that activity that reaches us on many levels, personally, emotionally, and spiritually. I am happy to say I found my passion working with my fraternity, Pi Kappa Phi. Yes, that little curly-headed kid who loved science and still had a short fuse from his time at Heard County found his passion for service while working to support his fraternity's national philanthropy, the Ability Experience. Through the support I found at LaGrange, I found the strength to dedicate myself to a cross-country cycling trip where I rode my bicycle from California to Washington, D.C. to raise awareness for those who are labeled as handicapped or disabled. When I got back to LaGrange, I was starting to gain a better understanding of what service for others without seeking recognition felt like. Likewise, LaGrange College had now become home to me. It was at this point I had to make one of the toughest decisions of my young college career. Heading towards my junior year, I was still focused on leaving LC to complete a chemical engineering degree, and I had the grades to attend Georgia Tech or Auburn, but my heart began pulling me back to the hill. If I stayed, the opportunity to become a servant scholar was before me. The possibility to become my fraternity's president was before me. I still wanted to make a contribution to the SGA and the O team. And in being honest, construction on the new lab science building and fraternity court had a strong influence on my decision to stay here. It was clear that God had further plans for me here. I trusted in his plan. I was no doubt fearful, though, because now I had effectively changed the outcome of my future. But through my decision, I found the opportunity to serve among 11 other incredible servants in the Servant Scholar Program, serve my fraternity as president, and obtain a Bachelor of Science degree from very brilliant professors. And finally, stand here and give each of you my testimony. And yes, I have enjoyed the new lab science building and fraternity court very much. Through my greatest fears and uncertainties, I found that my greatest accomplishments lie just beyond them. Will Smith said best, God placed the best things in life on the other side of terror. On the other side of your maximum fears are the best things in life. I look back and recall with each accomplishment the uncertainties and the fears that I faced, and I feel compelled to leave my fellow graduates one challenge. As you close this chapter of your life and begin the next, I challenge each of you to stand strong in the face of your greatest fears. Whether your fears come in the form of skydiving or simply talking on stage in front of your peers, face it with your head held high and remember what it is to be a Panther. Again, on behalf of the 2017 graduating class, thank you. Thank you to the trustees and the leadership of the college. Thank you to our faculty and staff. Thank you to the families and the loved ones here today. Thank you. Go Panthers!
Good morning. Each year, the LaGrange College Alumni Association presents its Distinguished Service Alumni Award. The recipient of this honor is selected based on his or her continuation of devotion to and support of this institution and its mission to challenge the minds and to inspire the souls of young men and women. This year, with deep respect and admiration, the Alumni Association recognizes Nancy Mitchell Morris, who earned her Bachelor of Arts degree in Chemistry and Education in 1960. Nancy, will you please come forward? Nancy, you have supported LaGrange College for many years with your time, talent, and treasures. You became a member of the Quadrangle Society in 2006, a member of the Alumni Council from 2006 and 2011,
and you have received the Shackelford Distinguished Alumni Award in 2007. And you joined the Fellows Society in 2008, and you have served as a member of the LaGrange College Leadership Council from 2008 to 2014. Your philanthropic focus has been on helping the college support students through scholarship funding. Beginning in 2006, a scholarship in honor of your late son and member of the class of 1993, Kendall Eugene Morris. Since its creation, 11 LaGrange College students have received this scholarship, helping them to achieve their dreams. Your efforts have helped with the building of the Ida Hudson Callaway Lab Sciences Building, the renovations of the Case and J. Callaway Science Building, and building of the Lewis Library. You have named a seat at Price Theater in support of its renovation project, and you have supported the Shibley Hicks Scholarship, the Leadership Council for Academic Distinction, and the LaGrange College Fund. You challenged your mind by continuing your education with a master's in science from Auburn University in inorganic and analytical chemistry in 1964, and various postgraduate training classes since then. You served as a research chemist with the U.S. Department of Agriculture in New Orleans. Since this is just a sample of some of the awards you've received over the year that do inspire the souls of young men and women, by being named Outstanding Young Woman of America in 1966, listed in American Men and Women of Science in 1979, you received the USDA Cash Award for overall research performance and co-organized the first Take Your Daughter to Work Day at the Southern Regional Research Center. As an active volunteer, you believe it is extremely important to involve yourself in your local community and interests that are important to you. After retirement, you returned to your family home in Griffin, Georgia, where you became actively involved in the support and building of the Griffin-Spalding County Library. You are a member of the the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Griffin Historical Society, Friends of Georgia Archives, Women in Science Task Force at Auburn University, Rotary International, and many others. It is recognized that numerous organizations and members of your community are helped each year by your service and generosity. Nancy, you are enormously grateful to you for your service to the college. Your family members and friends join us in paying tribute to you on this special day. So would your family and friends please stand? It has been an honor and a privilege to have known Nancy over the last few years, as I also served on the Alumni Council with her, and we got to know each other very well, and I can attest to the fact that she is truly a committed servant to LaGrange College. It is with great honor that your alma mater presents to you Nancy Mitchell, the 2017 LaGrange College Distinguished Service Alumni Award.
Good morning. Thank you. I'm honored to receive the 2017 Distinguished Service Alumni Award. I join a large group of alumni who have given much of their time and resources to make LaGrange College and their world a better place in which to study, work, live, and play. There is one person from LaGrange College whom I never met, but she's a person whom I will never forget, and that was Miss Stella Bradfield, who taught education at LaGrange College in the 20s, 30s. I don't know when she retired, but it was before I got to LaGrange. But on her retirement, she had established a named scholarship, which I received my freshman year. That scholarship made the difference. Instead of having to go to my second choice school, I was able to attend my first choice, LaGrange College. So I'm very happy to have had LaGrange College work its transformative magic on me. When I lost both my son and my husband during a 4-month period about 13 years ago, I became very depressed. And I missed my guys so much. Then I decided, I remembered Miss Bradfield, and I decided that I would be able to honor them and I'd be able to honor them and hopefully have their names remembered as I remember Miss Bradfield's. So I established a scholarship here at LaGrange in honor of my son, in memory of my son, and one at Auburn for my husband, because we met in graduate school at Auburn. And it's my hope that those students who receive the Kendall Morris Scholarship will occasionally think of him, and as I do Miss Bradfield. As an added bonus to this, I receive invitations to my philanthropy. I receive invitations to college events, and as a result have met and been able to listen to lectures from some of your professors. I have been awed by the expertise that they have and how they made subjects that were so boring to me when I was in the classroom become interesting and relevant. You are very fortunate in the faculty that you have here. I'm sure that all of you are familiar with the U.S. News and World Report college rankings. But did you know that level of alumni support is one of the factors included in those rankings? And even if you can only make small contributions, it works well to give a big boost in alumni support, because the $5 contribution counts as much as the $5,000 contribution in this particular category. So remember that when you, and I'm sure that many of you got a combination of scholarships to assist you. And remember that when you receive the letter or phone call from your alma mater asking for your support. I'm really proud of the very high level of participation that you achieved, and I hope that you will continue it as you move into your careers. And something else, at LaGrange College you were encouraged to volunteer and participate in various service projects. I urge you to carry that spirit of volunteerism and service with you as you begin your careers. Our communities need you more than ever. Thank you again for this recognition and for the friendships that we have forged through the years. I am very happy to have reconnected with my alma mater. Thank you.
LaGrange College seeks to honor those who have distinguished themselves through outstanding achievement and service to the academy, the church, business, or philanthropy. We are pleased and honored to present one such candidate today. Vice Chairman Bruce, the faculty, and the Academic Affairs Committee of the Board of Trustees have recommended the following candidate for recognition: Janet Mabry Gibson Caswell for the degree of Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa.
As Vice Chair of the Trustees of LaGrange College, I take great pleasure in accepting the recommendations from the President and the faculty of the college, and I hereby authorize you to confer an honorary doctoral degree upon Janet Mabry Gibson Caswell, together with all the appropriate honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. President McAlexander, please proceed.
Janet Mabry Gibson Caswell, 66, Doctor of Humanities, honoris causa. Nurturer, businesswoman, benefactor. Spoon is the nickname given to you by your late husband, Sam Gibson, during a freshman prank your first week at LaGrange College. Even though Sam has been gone almost 20 years, you still have the spoon and the nickname. You've also become the embodiment of what a spoon does. You serve. You were born in Marietta, Georgia, the daughter of Ward and Louise Mabry. You entered LaGrange College in 1962 and quickly became an integral part of campus life. president of Kappa Phi Delta, sweetheart of Gamma Phi Alpha, a member of the Student Government and Panhellenic Councils, a senior superlative, and homecoming queen runner-up. After graduation, you married Sam and established several businesses together, including Gibson Investments Incorporated, while also pursuing your graduate degree. After his untimely death, you took over as CEO of the company and continued to manage your commercial investment holdings. Your service to the college has included work with the Alumni Association's Alumni Council, where you were vice president for many years. You also served as a member of the Board of Trustees and President's Advisory Council and received the 1990 Distinguished Service Alumni Award. In 2005, you established the Samuel L. Gibson Endowed Scholarship Grant Fund. That same year, you married retired business professor and investment planner Dr. Jerry Caswell, who's in the audience with us today. You taught Jerry to love LaGrange College, and he was named an honorary alumnus of this institution in 2014. In 2016, you gave the largest gift ever received from a living alumnus to the From Promise to Prominence comprehensive campaign. But most of all, it's your joyous spirit that touches everyone you meet. You call your lake home the Laughing House, jokingly requiring guests to laugh every day they are there. Your exuberant hospitality, business acumen, and personal resources have benefited this college, helping ensure that every student has the opportunity to be transformed. For your boundless enthusiasm, servant soul, and generous heart, we are honored to bestow upon you the degree of Doctor of Humanities honoris causa. There you go.
Thank you so much, and good morning. I am, like everyone else who receives this type of award, honored and very humbled. I thank the Board of Trustees and the faculty and Dr. McAlexander for this recognition. I feel like the world's oldest cheerleader. Well, LaGrange College cheerleader. And let me tell you why. 5 days after I arrived at LaGrange, a tall blonde guy named Sam Gibson saw me, gave me a nickname, which I cherish even today. I had found my perfect place, a nurturing environment, a committed faculty, good and loving people who became my lifelong friends and who remain so today. I sat where you are sitting 51 years ago. Only I sat in Mariotti Gym next to my college roommate. The alphabet did us a wonderful favor. Her last name, McCord, mine, Mabry. That was actually very dear to me. Sam and I married later that year. Little did I know that the man I said I do to had an altogether different idea about how to make a living than I did. My idea was that we should just get a regular job. His was to be an entrepreneur, full-on, a seat-of-your-pants dreamer. Hang on tight, it's going to be a ride. And quite a ride it was. While it was not my original plan, we made a good team. Immediately out of LaGrange, Sam did take a regular job, but in a few years, the itch for independence became too great, and he succumbed to his entrepreneurial bent. After starting many businesses, by 1975, Sam had migrated into residential real estate. His first listing was scheduled to close on December 11. We were delighted because we planned to use the proceeds from that sale to have a real Christmas for our two young children, 5 and 7. A short time before the closing, Sam became aware of a new tax law becoming effective after January 1. That tax law benefited people over the age of 55. The seller, Mrs. Jernigan, did not know about the tax law, but Sam did. When he saw my disappointment, when he told me that he had postponed the closing, he shrugged and looked me in the eye and said, "Honey, I can't wait until I have money to have integrity." As disappointed as I was, I have never been prouder of him than I was then. So Christmas was smaller, but I don't think our kids ever knew the difference. Sam's and my journey together ended in 1998 in a tragic car accident after 32 years of marriage. And I assumed control of our companies and investments. Ironically, I learned how to run a business from a routine he and I had developed over the years. Sam was a night owl. He stayed up late, committing every thought, every opinion, every appointment to a yellow pad. I always said, had Sam been Moses, the 10 Commandments would have been written on a yellow pad. I, on the other hand, am an early bird. In the morning, I would review, edit, critique all his notes, writing my opinions in the margins. The end product was always better than either of us could have done alone. God was looking out for us because that was the extent of my on-the-job training. During all those years, we stayed close to this college, hosting parties, serving on committees, and giving money whenever we could. About 13 years ago, I endowed a scholarship in Sam's honor. A short time later, I was invited to become a member of the Board of Trustees. From that up-close and personal vantage point, I have become a full-blown LaGrange College cheerleader. I have witnessed firsthand through 2 presidents how much this school is committed to its students. Not only have I witnessed this, but my husband Jerry has also. He came to Board of Trustees meetings with me and the spousal functions organized by First Lady Celeste Mayall, featuring many of our own students. Without any prodding from me, Jerry caught the LaGrange College dream and has since given of himself and his resources to his newly adopted alma mater. I have witnessed the devotion and leadership of not only President McAlexander, the First Lady, the members of the administration, the faculty, Board of Trustees, all of these people, every last one, has a smile on their faces and a hug in their hearts. You will never be supported, and loved more than you are here. Perhaps none of you will choose the entrepreneurial route Sam and I took. But I do hope that you find your own way of staying connected to LaGrange College. You will be glad you did. This is a good and healthy environment, and it deserves our support. I hope you feel a sense of gratitude for the mentoring and the assistance you have received, and reciprocate in the years ahead in whatever ways you can. Perhaps your gifts will help finance bricks and mortar, like maybe a new Mariotti gym or another need that the college has, or perhaps donating to scholarships for worthy students just like yourselves. In a nutshell, stay connected. I'm often asked what's so special about LaGrange College. And often, I really can't describe it. But I liken it to a shooting star. You cannot catch it. You can't always describe it. But once you've experienced it, you are forever changed. Go Panthers!
Thank you, Dr. Caswell. It is my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, one of LaGrange College's most distinguished graduates. Judge Rick Story, a native of Augusta, Georgia, graduated with a major in English from LaGrange College in 1975. While here, he served as treasurer of the Student Government Association, president of Delta Tau Delta Fraternity, and president of the Intra-Fraternity Council. Following graduation, Judge Story attended University of Georgia School of Law, where he earned his Juris Doctor degree in 1978. In addition to serving as partner in the Gainesville law firm of Halsey, Oliver, and Meyer, he has served in a variety of judicial roles, including as juvenile court judge in Hall County, judge of the Superior Courts for the Northeastern Circuit of Georgia, and as the administrative judge for the 9th Judicial District of Georgia. Since February 1998, Rick has served as judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, and for 7 of those years served on the Committee on Federal State Jurisdiction of the Judicial Conference of the United States, and as its chair for 4 of those years. A member of Gainesville First United Methodist Church, Judge Story has served as lay leader and as the chair of the Administrative Board and Council on Ministries. Active in the United Way, Girls Club, Chamber of Commerce, Jaycees, and Rotary. Such an array of community service earned him the honor of Gainesville Hall County Young Man of the Year in 1985, and in 1987, the honor of being named by the Georgia Jaycees as one of 5 outstanding young Georgians. Judge Story has also remained a loyal servant to his alma mater, serving on the LaGrange College Board of Trustees from 2003 to 2011. During his time on the board, Rick showed outstanding discernment while serving on the Presidential Search Committee in 2009. I will be very forever grateful, Rick. Judge Story discovered a few years ago a talent for acting. He reports that one of his very favorite experiences was playing Atticus Finch in a community theater production of To Kill a Mockingbird. He still reprises Atticus's closing argument in schools and other venues. Judge Story, as a student here and throughout his life since, has been the very embodiment of the LaGrange College student ideal, one who explores widely, serves generously, and excels constantly. Rick is married to Nancy Duffy Story, also a graduate of LaGrange College. They have 3 children and 2 grandchildren, and their daughter Elizabeth followed in her parents' footsteps, graduating from LaGrange College, and then followed in her father's footsteps, graduating from Georgia Law. We're honored to have Nancy and Elizabeth in the audience with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in warmly welcoming LaGrange College's 2017 commencement speaker, the Honorable Judge Richard Story. I keep turning the wrong way.
Congratulations, LaGrange College class of 2017. I'm honored to welcome you as a fellow graduate of this great institution. I'm also pleased to welcome you as a fellow turtle sitting on a fence post. You may not have realized that you had achieved that status, but I sometimes like to refer to myself in that way based on the old story about two farmers who were walking down a country road. As they passed this field, they noticed a turtle sitting on top of a fence post. The first farmer said to the other, "Would you look at that? How in the world do you think that happened?" The second farmer pondered for a moment and then replied, "Well, I really don't know how that happened, but one thing I do know for sure, he didn't get there by himself." As you sit here today, you're sitting on that fence post. You didn't get there by yourself. I hope you'll take some time today to reflect on the people who've helped you get where you are. A parent, a grandparent, a spouse, a friend, a teacher, a coach. Take time to give thanks for those people, and if you're fortunate enough to have them here with you today, take a moment to tell them what they mean to you. The role of a commencement speaker is a daunting task. It is a little less daunting when clouds finally appear, but it is no less daunting when you're almost an hour into the program and just now starting to speak. The good news is I'm going to be brief. But this responsibility, if I were really smart, I'd take the cue and sit down now. This responsibility was brought home to me by a very kind note I received from President McAlexander a couple of weeks ago, in which he remarked that he was looking forward to receiving my challenge to the graduates, knowing that I would inspire you all. On the other hand, last week I was watching Jimmy Fallon, and he remarked that the purpose of a commencement speech is to give the graduates the chance to have one last lecture that they don't have to listen to. Keeping both those points in mind, I've tried to seriously consider what message I should deliver to you today. I didn't have to consider this question long before identifying a glaring problem in our society. I just hope I can offer briefly a meaningful response to it. The sad truth is that we've lost our sense of civility. We can no longer engage in meaningful discussions about substantive issues without having those discussions descend into bitter personal attacks. We have lost the ability to listen to one another with an open mind and are unwilling to consider that we could possibly be wrong about a matter. Thank you. Civil discourse has become an oxymoron. How have we come to this place? I hate to disparage technology, but for all the wonderful benefits it offers, there's some obvious downsides. First, so much of the human element of communication is removed. We don't see the people with whom we're communicating or hear the inflections of their voices. Thus, much of the emotion is missing. Even worse, the internet has allowed us to become anonymous. We can say anything, no matter how hateful or ridiculous, and expect never to be held accountable for it. In this world of anonymity, all civility seems to be lost. Sadly, this conduct has now bled over into our society generally. We're no longer satisfied to agreeably disagree. We must denigrate and humiliate anyone who thinks differently from us. We are approaching a societal norm where it is acceptable to be mean to each other. Do we really need to be convinced that we are headed in the wrong direction? We've been taught all our lives that we should do unto others as we would have them do unto us, and that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. How do we change our course? I don't have a magic answer. None of us has the power to impose a solution on the masses. Therefore, we're left to our own individual devices. At the expense of being profoundly simplistic, I suggest to you that the early 20th century author and critic, Henry James, offers a good point from which to begin. He said, 3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind. In Michael Blumenthal's poem, Be Kind, he says that Henry James' rules of life are good for the soul and what's more, for others. It may be that kindness is our best audition for a worthier world. He urges us to take whatever kindness you can find and be profligate in its expenditure. It will not drain your limited resources, I assure you. It will not leave you vulnerable. Most of us know how to be kind when we're supposed to be. However, perhaps we need to stretch ourselves a bit and dare to be kind when that is not the easy option. Where are the opportunities for kindness? Well, the easiest and most obvious place is in our everyday encounters with other people. And in those encounters, we must move from being self-centered to trying to understand others. Dan's already given it away. One of my heroes is Atticus Finch, and let me hasten to add, it's the Atticus Finch of To Kill a Mockingbird. I've chosen not to read the other book. But Atticus Finch described this trait to his daughter Scout. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his point of view, until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. We often fail to acknowledge the impact our conduct has on those we encounter. Exhibiting genuine compassion for others can be transforming for us as well as for those around us. Maya Angelou understood our role in relationships when she said, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. We do not always have to agree, but if we can convey a respect for a differing view, then we can begin to turn down the heat and build relationships, not destroy them. I mentioned earlier that most of us know how to be kind when we're supposed to be, but we all know there are times when kindness may not be the first response that comes to mind. In that regard, and here are the magic words, let me conclude by sharing with you a remarkable experience that I had last summer. I was humbled to be invited by Pope Francis to the Vatican for a summit on human trafficking and organized crime. Pope Francis met with our group of judges and prosecutors from 26 countries and shared his compassion for victims of human trafficking, and that was to be expected. But what was not to be expected was his compassion for those who perpetrate these awful crimes. After urging us to show compassion and find opportunities for rehabilitation for the victims of trafficking, he offered this insight to those of us whose job it is to mete out punishment to the perpetrators, and I quote, "There is no fitting punishment without hope. Punishment for its own sake, without room for hope, is a form of torture, not punishment." I realize that sometimes the kindest gift that we can offer another is hope. Now, at the risk of pushing the sentimentality quotient over the top, let me share with you that in the 60s, when I was growing up, we had a great little song sung by Jackie DeShannon that summed up my message quite well. Now, as my act of kindness to you, I am not going to sing the song to you. I'm going to simply say the words. But if in your own head you want to sing along as I say the first few lines, you may. And heck, if you want to sing out loud, I don't care. It's fine with me. But it was this song. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Now, there may be those among you who will cynically say that this is the most naive message you have ever heard. Well, however, my family accuses me of being the eternal optimist. So, for that reason, I'm actually confident that there are those among you who will choose to be ambassadors of kindness. You have received an education here that not only challenged your minds, but inspired your souls. Your time at LaGrange College has uniquely prepared you to be an agent for change. You have not only been educated academically, you have been inspired to be servant leaders. If you're looking for a nuclear option to save the world from its problems, I have just disappointed you. But my hope is that each of you will make the decision to show kindness when the alternative may appear easier. If you do that, you will have made a difference, not only in your own life, but in the lives of others. Will this change the world immediately? No. Can it make a difference, one person at a time? Yes. The English poet William Blake observed that he who would do good to another man must do it in minute particulars. We all like instant gratification, but slow and deliberate is not necessarily bad. In fact, it's quite all right. After all, that is the way we turtles do things, slowly and deliberately, but effectively. Graduates, my charge to you is so simple. Be kind. Thank you.
And now, will candidates for the following degrees please rise? Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Business Administration, Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Science, and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing. President McAlexander, the faculty of LaGrange College certify that these candidates have met the requirements for conferring of degrees of the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Business Administration, the Bachelor of Music, the Bachelor of Science, or the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and recommend that the appropriate degrees be conferred upon each candidate.
By the authority granted to me by the trustees and by the state of Georgia, I confer upon each of you the degree which you have earned, together with all the appropriate honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Those of you attaining your bachelor's degree may move your tassel from your right to your left and your college ring to face out, signifying that you are graduates of LaGrange College.
At this time, candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree, the Bachelor of Business Administration degree, and the Bachelor of Music degree, please come forward to receive your diploma. All graduates except those in the first row may be seated. Sterling Monet Ancrum. Emily Sarah Arnold. Sydney Quinn Aronson. Sarah Grayson Bailey. Candace Paisha Baker. Michael Jesus Barcina. Madison Barker. Mariah Bowen. Callie Alyssa Brooke. Garrison Conrad Brown. Austin Lee Buchanan. William Henry Campbell III. Megan Elizabeth Cascone. Audrey Kate Chancellor. Elizabeth Deanne Clements. Ratoya Shonij Cofield. Jill Madison Cook. Terry Wayne Kraft III. James B. Davis III. Lindsay Michelle Davis. Sharon Rose Day. Twawanda Devald Bryant. Wesley LaWayne Dismuke. Aaron Elliott. Jonathan William Fleckenstein. Marie Shanice Frazee. Jamie Blair Fredland. Daniel Scott Garrett. Shelby Lynn Godfrey. Kadarius DeAndre Griggs. Hamilton Van Cleve Harp. Courtney Lorraine Head. John Tyler Hepner. Trinity Lynn Hightower. Melanie Chiquita Hill. Marsalis Alexander Jackson. Shaquanda Brachet Jackson. Marniqua Sharna Jennings. Allison Ivy Giles. Zaid Dax Johnson. Lauren Elizabeth Jones. Zachary Cole Kemp. Megan Claire Lacey. DeLeon C. Lance. Adrienne Shea Little. Jeremy Maddox. Holly Nicole Malcolm. Philip Walker Manning. Corey Bernard Morgan. Anna Catherine Mormon. Bama Noel Myers. Jason Andrew Peden. Brianna Logan Phillips. Casey Jane Pruitt. Gabriela Sanchez Ramirez. Robert Reed Reinigal. Brian Andrew Richardson. Christy Marie Sammons. Rebecca Lee Sanders. Lily Sean. William Everett Shirley. Austin Parker Thomas. Laura Tumlinson. Zachary Michael Tyner. Lauren Taylor Venters. Sarah Emily Webb. Grayson Lee West. Lawrence Anthony West. Osty Nicholas White. Casey Danielle Wilson. Chastity Kendall Winkles. Latricia D. Wright Brown. Justin Michael Yastromski. Layla Alexandra Zaytoni. Talente Anderson. Ryan James Broderick. James Blake Butcher. Drew Thomas Cantrell. Davis Parker Conley. Adam Lee DeWitt. Jacob Levi Evans. Braxton Denzel Ford. Joshua Jermaine Hardrick Jr. Jake James Hipple. Justin L. Jackson. Blake Bennett Uberg. Tyler Victor Langston. Logan Marshall Lanier. Kyra Ashley Odom. Irvins Oji. Jared Jalen Oliver. Estuardo Alexander Oriana. Chad Garrett Pig. Nichelle Nicole Roberts. Clayton Gregory Smith. I'm sorry, Clayton Gregory Simon. Ellis Cottle Smith Jr. Joshua Christian Smith. Ryan Keith Stevens. Amanda Lynn Sugarmeyer. Marcus Andrew Valentine. Andrew Donald Vanderbrook. Kelsey Renee Walthall. William Christopher Wesley. Savannah Morgan Bracewell. Candidates for the Bachelor of Science and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing, please come forward to receive your diploma. Cole Allen Anderson. Bruno Arnhammer. Timothy Henry Barnes. Channing Quaid Brand. Jasmine Mariah Clark. Aspen Elizabeth Coggins. Matthew Austin Crawford. Blakely Ty Edwards. Justin Carl Fettner. Jacob George Gaetanos. Patrick Reese Gooden. Kyle Robert Gutowski. Eric Michael Havixbeck. Celestino Hernandez. Jamarcus Juwan Allen Holmes. Richard Tyler Hubbard. Darius Dion Jordan. Toby Franklin King. Kirby Lane Knowles. Jennifer Crewlin. Blair Cameron Lampkin. Jacob Ryan Levin. John Francis Lynch. Mackins Marcellin. James Thomas Maxwell. Denny Elizabeth Meggs. Jessica Ann Morton. T. Luke Norman. Michaela Lee Osborne. Brandon Marquis Penn. Jordan Michael Richardson. Jonathan Kane Sauls. Anthony Scalapio. Sam Eugene Shadows. Paige Elizabeth Smythe. Jesse James Sturmer. Jeffrey Blaine Swift. Adam William Terranoni. Osborne S. Thiem. Tavin Thompson. William Webb. Chelsea Stewart Young. Danielle Marie Zimmerman. Caitlin Dorothy Altamari. Kelly Alicia Ogburn. Evan Brassel. Austin Earl. Zachary Caleb Fikes. Sarai La Victorian Freeman. Sydney Michelle Garmany. Lauren Michelle Grant. Jessica Lynn Hatch. Kimberly Sue Hunt. Laurie Nicole Langley. Kelsey Ann Meacham. Emily Margaret Middlebrooks. Chelsea Cochran Peterson. Carly Brooke Pickett. Rachel Ann Pless. Perrianne Lynn Rogers. Leslie Meredith Stinson. Kristen Lee Talley. Summer Alexandria Vo. Brianna Lee Wallace. Kinsey Greer Waters. Madeline Stephen Waugh. Emily Faith Weicker. Amanda Lynn Wood. James L. Yancey. Will the candidates for the following degrees please rise? The Master of Arts in Philanthropy and Development.
By the authority of the Board of Trustees in the state of Georgia, I confer on each of you the appropriate graduate degree as indicated in the program, together with all appropriate honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Philanthropy and Development, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Nicholas R. Biemendorfer. James K. Caskey. Wendell R. Clark III. Nathaniel L. Crawford. Hilliard Jackson Daniel Sr. John S. Harrell. Erica Nicole Harris. Kathy Reese McCollum. Elizabeth A. Ponder. Sarah Q. Swain. Rex Kendall Wallace. Shanna T. Wilkert. Candidates for the degree of Master of Arts in Teaching, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Courtney Olivia Agers. Laura Omoni Baker. Brittany Tierra Bray. Kadisha Latuan Brown. Thaydra Janice Carter. TJ Dowden. Disha Janae Fuller. Haley Nicole Jones. Connor James McNamee. Sean Michael McNamee. Tamara Elaine Reeves. Colin Edward Ross. Tracy Michelle Seiler. Richard Ellis Taylor. Cecilia Wolf. Candidates for the degree of Master of Education, please come forward to receive your degrees. Jana T. Arp. Mallory Wegman Berry. Nicole Lynn Benetti. Cynthia Bradshaw. Kristen Michelle Bridges. Fatima D. Cahill. Leslie Nicole Chadwick. Krista Noel Chambers. Lynette Marie Haynes. Jaquetta Ligon Hardnett. Stephanie Christine Harris. Lauren Donna Hickman. Crystal Vashana Hightower. Shaughnessy Michelle Holder. Douglas Christopher Kirkley. Demetrius Chanel Little Butler. Christopher James Lupins Jr. Enoch Nathaniel Reyes Guzman. Dorsey E. Rice Jr. Nathan D. Shaw. Kristen Wheelis Smith. Caroline Shelton Yates. Will the candidates for the Education Specialist degree please rise? President McAlexander, the graduate faculty certify that these candidates have met the requirements for the Education Specialist degree and recommend that the degree be conferred upon them.
At this time, I invite all specialist candidates to assist one another in the donning of the hood. Candidates, please assist the candidate to your right. By the authority of the Board of Trustees in the state of Georgia, I confer upon you the degree of Education Specialist, together with all appropriate honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining.
Candidates for the degree of Education Specialist, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Meredith Macon Adams. Joshua Addis. Cecilia Christina Diaza. Mindy Michelle Baker. Martin Benavides. D. Richardson Bowen. Melvinette S. Bryant. Melissa B. Busby. Maurice Everton Campbell. Christina S. Cooper. Mallory Cole Daniel. Deborah Ann Davidson. Nicole Dean. Stephanie Fuller Easterwood. Danielle K. Frazier. Diane Harris Fullwider. Marlana Dion Giddens. Tiffany Ann Graham. Jamira Jordana Kendricks. Adrian Renee Milligan. Brandy N. Perry. Linda Monkas Perry, Ryan Michael Post, Catherine Louise Pugh, Kelly Ann Regenfuse, Jeffrey W. Renner, Julie Renner, LaTanya Maria Richardson, Kelly Marie Rosales, Sarah Shaddix Sands, Lori Catherine Shank, Hope Catherine Sims, Stephen Michael Stallings, Andrew Thomas Teal, Destiny Renashley Thomas, Marius Kendron Truitt, and Jamisha Nichelle Wimbush. President McAlexander, this concludes the conferring of the degrees. Thank you for that round of applause for all graduates in the class of 2017.
Graduates, you did it. We are so very, very proud of you. We look forward to hearing great things from you in the future. Now, please rise for the singing of the alma mater, after which the Reverend Dr. Adam Roberts will offer the benediction. Please remain in place during the academic recessional. Following the recessional, please join us at the opposite end of the quadrangle where the tents are for a reception and refreshments. Thank you for being part of the celebration today.
Hail to thee, our alma mater, guardian of our days. For thy spirit never failing, we will sing thy praise. High aloft we hold thy banner, ever loyal, true. And to thee, our alma mater, we are pledging you. In thy mighty groves of learning, wisdom's path we've sought. High upon thy lofty hilltop, visions have been wrought. From our hearts we sing thy chorus, time shall never change. Hail to thee, our alma mater. Hail to thee, LaGrange.
Let us pray. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace this day forevermore. And may LaGrange College live always in your hearts. In the name of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen.